My name's Dave Dubeau, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content.
All right, guys, welcome to Property Profits Podcast. I'm your host, Bryce Kaminsky, filling in for Dave Dubeau. And if you've ever wondered how to turn seller financing, credit card balance transfers, and unsecured lines of credit into a path to retire early, my guest tonight, Michael Choe, a guru in commercial real estate. He's got the answers. Welcome to the show, Michael. How are you?
Hi, welcome.
So people don't necessarily start in commercial. Did you get your start immediately in commercial multifamily, or did you buy some like early stuff? Tell us about the beginning of the journey.
Well, beginning of the journey goes way back. It goes through exposure to the real estate market. So I had the privilege of that my father actually pioneered this path before I did. So he provided a blueprint. In terms of how what a person obviously can be successful, and so through those years, those were long years of property management. I see things that he was doing, like leases. He was writing. I had to write the leases as well, and what tenants were going there, going into certain locations and things like that. And but I never really got like my hands on to it until I got married, and I became extremely motivated in terms of my own career. Due to I have to provide for other people. So you know, I did start my own. I did get my real estate broker's license. Actually rather quickly after I got married. I got my. I was a salesman. Before that, I had my salesman license, and then I started aggressively investing in commercial real estate.
Right out the gate, no single families, none of that, just right into commercial.
Pretty much. I did one residential in West Philadelphia. It was a horrible experience. I sold that. People weren't paying rent. It was really, really bad. I didn't know the tenants that that were there. That I got other tenants. The numbers didn't work out. I just had to sell it. But I did another flip actually in Fishtown. I made good profit, around 21 to 30,000 profit on that flip. Got some good experience working with contractors, things like that. I did a flip at Temple. Didn't really do any work. I just let it stay there, and then I made like 10,000 on that. But the main mission of what I was going to is commercial real estate investment, and investment in general. And that's where during the pandemic, it was 2020, I started buying property. So one of the key things that you need to do if you're going to invest in commercial real estate or investment in general, you need a full-time job. You need one full-time, good-paying job. The reason why is because commercial real estate investment is capital intensive. So in order for you to get loans, I got 95% of my loans through the bank, which was used to finance most of my commercial investments. So if you have a good credit, and you have a stable which you have a stable full-time job that pays you every year. Um, you know, um, you know, mine was almost six digits. But if you have that stable job and then you get a loan through the bank, and it's also helpful if you have a spouse that's working, and
Mm-hmm.
then providing more income that helps get a larger loan at a lower interest, things like that, and then you could start like cash out refi. You know,
What was
they
the
call it the
first project that you got into? How big was it?
so my first commercial real estate investment, that was let me see, it was in Fish Street. Um, it was Fish Street. It was a very cheap property. It was about 130,000.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I turned that into a convenience store. And that was cash. I got a good paying tenant that's now paying about 1750 a month. So I had a base rent of 1500 plus a landlord's insurance 100, plus utility water bill is about 50, and UNO tax, things like that. So he pays about 1750 a month.
Mm-hmm.
But I bought it for 130,
Yeah.
so that's pretty good. I mean, what you need to look out for is the 1% rule. So
Mm-hmm.
1% of the purchase price should be about the monthly rent that you should be getting. That is ideal. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if it's close to that, that's extremely good. Um, it's very hard to find, but there are deals out there. You have to look for them, and the more deals you do, the more understanding of how rents work.
So how many commercial units do you have these days? How many units in total?
So I have about almost right now, let's see, about 17 commercial properties. Um, going on to my yeah, going on to my yeah, 17 commercial properties right now, and uh, we're uh, so basically, uh, the way I was able to buy commercial properties, about 3 to 4 properties for the last 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
was through cash out refi.
Mm-hmm.
It's a loophole that if the every all if all the factors are 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 relatively good and stable, you're
Mm-hmm.
able to do the cash out refi, and you can do it getting most of the money through the bank.
Mm-hmm.
So I that's called the Burr. It's another name is Burr method. It's a
Yeah.
buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat.
So you've
So
been
you buy,
fixing these, yeah,
yeah.
you've been fixing them up as you go. What's the composition of the 17? Like 5 units here, 5 doors here, and 10 doors here, or what does it look like as far as are all 17 on the same property? Like when you say 17, do you mean 17 renting units or what's the composition there?
No, 17 commercial properties. So
Okay.
basically, they're most of them, all pretty much all of them are mixed use properties. So I
Mm.
have like a number of them are 3-story buildings. So
Mm-hmm.
like um two ones that are that I recently bought that are doing extremely well. I bought one for 140, um, and then I got a daycare tenant, and I got two apartment tenants. I It was totally vacant, but there was gentrification happening in that area, and then it was a daycare center, but they left during the pandemic. All I had to do was call the broker and ask them you know, if there was a tenant there, why did they leave? And I knew I could get another tenant there because I'm a
Mm-hmm.
broker. I know that area. I know that area as well, and I understand people want to do business in that area because of the gentrification and location.
Hmm.
So that's what another thing is, get your real estate broker's license because it will help you tremendously in commercial real estate.
Yeah. So what's the future plans now from where you are here? Looking into 2024, what are your plans for 2024?
Well, so I'm under a contract with a three-story building. I'm going to use the first floor as my office, and then I want to rent out the second and third floor. Both are empty, but then they can be converted into two apartments for each floor. Um, each apartment I could rent for 800 a month, with like $35 water fee, and then I'm buying that building for 300,000.
Mm.
And I got an excellent seller financing through the owner. He's been there for a long time. I've known him for a long time, but I got 7.5% interest over 2 years. He's financing me 300,000. And that you know, uh, after 2 years, I don't have a balloon payment. It would be paid off. The building will be mine. But in the meantime, I'm leveraging the four apartment units, which is
Hmm.
3,200 a month. And then the first floor, which would have been 2,000 a month, but I'm using it as my office.
Yeah, and it still hits the 1% rule because you're getting like a little more than 1% of the
It's
300
a
every
lot.
month. So.
I mean, if it's 5,200 a month, it's like um almost double the
Hmm.
1% rule.
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
down the road when you move to a different office, that thing's going to make some serious capital. So, um, we were talking a little bit before the show about how you were able to put the 5% down because a lot of times you need to bring some um, money at the beginning of the deal. The bank will, kick in the rest usually because they like to own commercial spaces and multifamily buildings, especially mixed use. So tell people at home a little bit about your strategy for how you're able to get the funds together to get that initial 5% or 10% put down on a property.
Well, just to let you know, commercial loads,
Mm,
commercial building purchases, you usually need about 25 to 30% down.
mm-hmm,
But you know, every little thing helps. I was able to get about 30,000 through PNC credit card balance transfers. Uh, so it's completely legal. You can use the credit line of a promotional interest free, for about 12 to 15 months. You apply for a $12,500 credit card, $7,500 credit card, another 7,500, 12,000, and then you could directly transfer that credit line into your bank account. Actually,
mm-hmm,
the financial representative told me about that, and so I was able to get 30,000 from that. Um, other thing I told you, the one full-time job, you need that in commercial real estate because
mm-hmm,
you not only you need that income, if it's almost 100,000, but you need also that the uh, the 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 loan from the bank when interest rates fall in 2024 to get a lot of the money as well. Unsecured lines are very expensive. I
mm-hmm,
use QuickBridge and Dynamic Loan. They charge very, uh, you know, a lot of interest because they're giving you the money about 30,000, 35,000 upfront, but
mm-hmm,
you have to pay like every week, like 1703 or 300 293 a day every day except for the weekends, so that
mm-hmm.
adds up a lot. you know the key to it is leveraging your rents. So whatever your income from your full-time job, your income from the building that you're purchasing, ideally it's turnkey. You leverage the rents there. If it's not turnkey, you have to be confident you can find the tenants and then leverage the rents.
Yeah. So, when we talk about real estate, Robert Kiyosaki has this line about the unfair advantage. He says, what comes easy to you that other people might find difficult to do, Michael?
So uh, I would say um, y- well, you have to try. You have to be motivated.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know like long term where you're going. You know, commercial real estate is a long term mission. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but it's extremely profitable, and you're going to have not only are you going to be financially free within uh, you know uh, within 5-10 years, or you can help others to be financially free. So you need to know where you're going, and with that, if you know where you're going, you have to have a system in place.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a system in place, with the training, experience, the knowledge, the broker license, the you know the with connections,
Mm-hmm.
um, that's where you can really leverage.
Interesting. So when when you're looking at commercial deals, do you normally go and look for the deal and then go and see if you can finance it, or do you go to the bank and look at your financing and then go looking for deals?
So again, commercial real estate, the loans are more expensive than residential.
Yeah.
You're looking at, instead of 20% down, you're looking at 25% down. Even 30% down is normal. But um, you have to be able to leverage the bank's money,
Mm-hmm.
and that is through cash out refi. In
Mm-hmm.
order for you to get a cash out refi, you need one full-time good paying job, and you need um, to get a low interest rate. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
now you cannot get a low interest rate. Um, Before the pandemic in 2019, we were talking about like 3.9% interest rates for commercial loans. Right now, it's
Mm-hmm.
8.6%. No one is buying unless you have like cash. I don't know, you have cash somewhere. You make a lot of money, in a cash business or something. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so uh, uh, the best thing right now is seller financing. You have to have a relationship with the owner,
Mm-hmm.
and you know be able to leverage the rents from the property and then pay the owner back over
A
a lot
couple
of
of
times they
years.
want 10 years, they want their money back, but maybe it could be 13, 15, 20, 20 years that you can work with the owner with.
Yeah, because they just want to get out of the management of it. They still want the money. No one really wants to sell their cash flow, but if they can have a guy
No, no,
like you move in and manage
especially
it with
people
the
who
seller
are
finance. Yeah.
older or who are very old, they
Yeah.
want to make a lot of money on interest.
Yeah.
Um, you know, so uh, people who are older, my father does that all the time. He doesn't give me loans. He he would give other people loans, but he would basically charge them, like 10% interest over like
Hmm.
10 years,
Hmm.
even like up to 13 years. But he makes a lot of money on the interest, and he's very old, and he wants that cash flow for retirement.
Yeah, right. And so when you go and say, "Hey, would you consider doing a seller financing?" They're like, "Yeah, I mean, there's tax advantages too. They get to keep the asset, and they too can, pull lines of credit and stuff against the thing because they haven't sold it to you technically, but now you're managing it, you're stepping in, you're making sure that the rents are paid because you're going to use the rents to pay them. It's just now they don't have to manage it. So essentially, they're like hiring a new manager, and that's you with the intent to buy. So, are you doing a lot of seller financing these days, or is that the first one when as it's emerging here?
That's the first one. Uh, Not with my father, but with another owner that I've been
Hmm.
doing with. with seller financing. But I knew that owner for a long time. And yeah, I was just, I just took the initiative to ask.
Yeah, I've got one of those that I'm looking at too, is just you do have to have that relationship and understand their motivation to be able to actually put them together, because uh it's not every seller even knows what that is. So sometimes you have to do some education. Now, um did you have to educate this seller on the terms and conditions, or were they already kind of aware of how it worked?
Um, yeah, I had to educate the seller about it. He didn't really know a lot about it. But basically, I told him you could be making like 1,000 more a month on top of the loan that you give me. You know, in my case, it's around 13,500 for
Hmm.
300,000 for 2 years. So 13,500 a month plus have to I'm sorry, 12,500 a month plus $1,000 interest fee. So I told him, look, I'll give you 1,000 on top of the 12,500 for 2 years. And then, you know, so you're making about like 30,000 in interest.
Hmm.
So you wanted to walk away with the deal at 300,000. So you're going to be making more than that. And to 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 make this deal even more better as I negotiate with him. I'll pay for your transfer taxes and closing costs. You could just walk out of the settlement with that. Uh, you know, you know, after the loan is paid off with that 300,000.
Awesome, awesome. So when you were telling the story, how old were you when you did start joining your dad in your real estate?
So I had a lot of exposure through property management. My dad mainly does commercial real estate again, but
So when did you
it
start
was,
doing that?
that was after college.
Mm, like in
I
your
did
early
work.
20s
Yeah, I worked at a commercial real estate firm to get a lot of exposure. Uh, you know,
as a
I
salesperson.
Yeah, as a salesperson, I did it for 1 year, and then I started working for the family business. And then, within the last 2 years, I started my own brokerage. I got married. You know, with within the last, 5, you know, got married within the last 6 years. Uh,
Hmm.
and now, I am where I am today.
Awesome. So if people want to like reach out to you, connect with you, learn more about this commercial real estate and how you're, getting these rents and how things are working for you, what should they do? How do they connect with you?
Yeah. So my real estate website is newinvestmentrealty.com.
Hmm.
You can find all the projects that I've done under commercial lease plus property management. And the property management that I'm currently managing, shopping centers, it's under property management. Um, and feel free to give me a call. Feel free to send me an email. I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions. Um, you know, I just want to throw something out there.
Hmm.
Commercial real estate, it's all about leveraging your rents. Okay. Uh, uh, make it as easy as possible for yourself. Uh, you know, you need to find buildings that have tenants there. Even as a commercial real estate broker, I look for buildings with tenants there that are cash flowing very well. There are a lot of buildings that are vacant, and there's a reason why they're vacant. So,
Mm.
also another key tip, know the location. It's all in commercial real estate, it's all about location. The reason why people are doing businesses there, they
Hmm.
want to sustain their businesses like forever. They
Yeah.
built their businesses there. So it's about the location. And that if the location is good, the business will do well. They'll pay your rent, and you can also leverage, um, you know, uh, any apartments upstairs as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity, and mixed use is what the city really wants to see too. So more and more you're seeing that mixed use is the way to go, especially even if you're building new, because it's got like a more diverse tenant. You might lose your commercial tenant downstairs, but the renters are still upstairs. Or you might lose one renter, but you've got your commercial tenant downstairs and your other rents are still fine. So I like the idea of like the diversification within the same building. So yeah, I really appreciate your time, Mike. And I'm sure that anyone looking to get into commercial is really going to enjoy the episode. I really appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. And until next time, guys, we'll see you on the next episode.
Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.